Hello, welcome to my channel, Latina Plants. My name is Jackie. Today we have a fun unboxing. I was set some pots from Naked Roots to try them out, and I'm excited to try them out and show you the progress of my plants in these pots. So let's go ahead with the unboxing and check out the pots that they sent me. So let's go ahead and open up the box that they sent me. These planters are said to be breathing planters. So the whole point of these planters is to avoid any waterlogging or suffocating the roots. It says that it's an air root pruning planter, and they specify that it's beneficial for tiny rooted plants like hair strand plants to support healthier growth. Here are some of the planter kits that they have available and the different colors that they currently have. They sent the 3 planters with a hanger as well, so I can hang one of them if I choose to. The kit is said to be $207, but right now, it's on sale for $99, which I think is a great deal. And you can get 20% off using my code Latina20, sorry. I will put that on the screen. I really liked the white tone that they had, so that's the one that I picked. It's not a cool tone white, it's more of a warm tone white, like a natural white color. They call it the Moonlight Planter. The gray tone is called the Peppercorn. The green is called Moss. And then the more orangey, rusty color is called Clay. They also came out with a transparent pot, so you can take a look at the roots as your plant grows. You can choose whatever medium you like to pot your plants into. We're going to go ahead and pot up the small pot. I have this Hoya that I got about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago from Mona in Fluval, and it was time to transfer it out of Fluval into some pond. And I thought that the smaller pot that Naked Roots sent me was a perfect size for this plant. And so I decided I was going to use the smaller pot for this Hoya with pond. And let's go ahead and take the Hoya out of Fluval and put it into pond. I'm also going to rinse out the roots off camera here, just removing the pins that I used to initially root the plant up to hold it into the Fluval so it didn't fall out. And then we're going to remove the Fluval. I'm going to show you a total of 4 week updates, and at the end, I will also show you what the plant is currently looking like. I feel that these planters are great for Hoyas. My Hoya is doing great, and these are perfect for pond as well because the slits in the pot don't allow the pond to fall out. They're not too big at all, and I feel that they're nice, tall pots, and so it gives your roots room to grow as well. I didn't feel like I needed the pot to be totally clear because I can tell by the rate of how the plant is needing water whether it's doing well in the substrate and pot or not. The Hoya would take about 2 weeks to sit in the pot. Like after I gave it a reservoir in 2 weeks, I needed to refill it, but the pond was never completely dry. I didn't want to go past the 2 weeks of that and allow the pond to completely dry because, as you know, then you can risk some dry rot. They did give me a paper to go by the size of the pot on how many days, like after the water reservoir was gone. You're supposed to wait a certain amount of days before you fill the reservoir again. But I decided to do my own thing and just gauge whether or not my Hoya needed to be watered or not. And considering this Hoya is pretty much a starter plant, in my opinion, and it had a decent amount of roots, but I wouldn't say it was like a mature plant by any means. It's not a full pot, so I decided that I would not let the pond dry out completely, but because the roots don't go all the way to the bottom of the pot just yet, it was okay for me to continue to fill the reservoir. I think that if you have a plant that's fully rooted, that you would want to give it that dry period. I think that these pots are super easy to pot your plants up into. I do use the pen just to make sure that the Hoya stays put and doesn't fall out and the roots stay in the pond as I like to do. And I did add some Myco to it just to prevent any kind of shock of transplanting it from fluval into pond. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in around to make sure that all the roots are covered. I'm really enjoying growing my plants in these pots. I will continue to do updates for you to let you know how they're doing in the long run. So far, everything is doing great. I don't see any problems. We will see how they do once the roots start coming out of the sides or the slits. Maybe they will need an up pot, or you can always trim the roots if you'd like. I don't know that a lot of people like to do that, but you can. Roots coming out of the pot doesn't always mean that it needs an up pot, so I will gauge when I get there whether I want to trim the roots, up pot the plant, or what I want to do. Currently, I don't have too many roots coming out of the planters, so they're doing really good growing in there. One thing that I do want to say is I wish some of these planters were round. Maybe they can come out with a round version rather than the square version. I did spill some of the water as I was filling it up. When you initially pot your plant in these planters, you want to water from the top and make sure that the reservoir is filled as well. And then after you do that, you want to just wait until your plant absorbs all of that water in the reservoir. And then after it's done absorbing all of that water, and it's completely dry, you're going to count the amount of days before you add water to the reservoir again. Here I'm just showing you there was like a line there that I thought was the fill line, but it was just a mark, I guess, from printing or from the make of the pot. It didn't have anything to do with the fill line. I thought it did, but it doesn't. So I did fingers crossed, hoping that she does well because I love that plant. And here is the first week update. She's doing great in the planter. The leaves were nice and firm. I didn't lose any of the propagations in the pot at all. She acclimated well to the pot and pond. The leaves feel nice and hydrated and firm. And this is week 2 here. You can see the pink new growth. She's doing well. She's growing. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell here, but some of the roots is starting to peek out of the slits. And I just left them alone. She seems to be doing just great in the pot. I didn't have any leaf loss at all. I have them on my shelf underneath the Barina T5 lights. And this is week 3 update here. As you can see, she still has the pink new growth. She's doing well. Here is where she dried up. This was the first time that I did go ahead and watered her. Again, after 3 weeks, I watered her. I thought it was 2, but it's after 3 weeks I watered her in again. And I don't know if you can tell on the video, but yeah, the roots are starting to come out the sides, and the pond is not fully dry at all after 3 weeks. I did still decide to fill the reservoir because I do not want the pond to dry out and get any kind of dry rot with my Hoyas. So I did fill the reservoir up. And this is week 4. And as you can see, she's still growing. She has the pink growth, new growth as well. And she did have water in her reservoir still. And as you can see, the roots are on the outside are starting to come out a little bit there, but they still look healthy. Nothing going wrong with the roots at all. And so I would say this is a win. I approve of these, especially for Hoyas. Stay tuned to see what I pot up in the other 2 pots and what kind of substrate I decide to use. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I I'm super happy with these naked root pots, and I wanted to show you a last update of the Hushkiliana in the pot. And this is what she's looking like. I don't want to tilt her too much because she does have water in the pot right now. But as you can see, she's been growing. She's starting to trail. She has new growth. Hopefully you can see that. I'm really happy with these naked root pots. And in pond, this Hoya is doing great. I have 2 more pots that I will share with you. I didn't want to share it in this video because it would have been too long of a video. And I will also show you the updates on those as well in that video. So if you like the style of these pots, go ahead and check out my link. This is not a sponsored video at all. I do have an affiliate program. I'm part of their affiliate program. So if you purchase any of their pots, I will get a little bit from that. And I'm super thankful if you do, because it helps me here on my channel to be able to create more content for you. I truly would not bring anything to this channel that I didn't approve of, which is why it took me so long to do this video and share it with you. I wanted to give it a really good review if I really liked the pot. If I didn't like the pot or think that it was something that was easy to use, then I wouldn't share it. I decided to join their affiliate program because I do enjoy the pots and I do approve of them. And I wanted to share here on YouTube. I hope you like these pots as well. I know that not everybody's conditions are going to be the same, and you might have a little bit of a learning curve with these pots, but to be completely honest, I had no problems with these pots at all with any of the plants that I put in them. I will also show you the other plants that I decided to put in the other 2 pots that are different substrate as well. And I will show you the entire process as well as updates on those videos. So stay tuned so you can see those. And again, if you'd like to support me here on this channel, if you're interested in these pots, go ahead and check them out down below. I will leave their link in the description box. You can also purchase these pots individually and not have to buy like a huge bundle in case you are interested in trying one of them to see if you really like it. And then if you decide that you really like these pots, you can go ahead and purchase a bundle in the future. Thank you so much for joining me on this unboxing video. I'm super excited about these planters and I am looking forward to adding some more of them to my collection for my plants, potting up a lot of my Hoyas and my more water-loving plants. Thank you again for joining me on this video.